Anyways, Cola Cube 23 asks, have you ever tried cosplaying Spamano? I have tried cosplaying, but I've never tried cosplaying Spamano. I've thought about it. I think I'd make a really good Romano. But to no alas, I have no money. I cannot buy a wig. But I do have tried cosplaying Italy, which I do have the full-blown costume with full-blown wig, and Edward Elric, which I do have the full-blown costume and the full-blown wig. And I've actually have cosplayed Fairy Romano, my own Fairy Romano, which is, I had wings, they got destroyed, don't know where they are, probably in the trash can. So I have tried cosplaying, but never cosplaying Spamano, which you know what, it's still one of my dreams. I would love to, because I watch a lot of cosplay Spamano videos, and I was like, wow, that looks like so much fun. I would love to do that one day, but to no alas. Maybe if I like get some money, get a job, I can start cosplaying Spamano. And I think that's all for the DeviantArt and Tumblr questions, so I'll go straight to my phone because I think I did have 3 questions from Instagram, because I did ask on Instagram. So here we go. Demon Scoot 96 asks, have you ever had a hard time finding the ability to draw, and do you have any tips to overcome that? I have a hard time getting myself to get motivated. Actually, I really do have sometimes a hard time finding the ability to draw. It's something that I don't consider it artist block, because I think artist block is really something that is really personal to some people. Some people consider it this, and some people consider it this. What artist block is to me, I think whenever I think I have artist block, it's when I cannot draw. Like, I'll draw something and I'll think it's horrible, and then I won't draw for a long period of time. But some artist block is like, I don't know what to draw, or I can't find the ability to draw, or I'm drawing and it doesn't look good. So, artist block, or finding the ability to draw, sometimes you just don't have the ability to draw all the time. Sometimes you have to take a break. Your mind needs to take a break. And whenever I take a break, usually maybe it's for a week or a couple of days, when I come back and start drawing, I'm able to like what I'm drawing, because I haven't drawn for a long time, and then I come back and your mind changes, I guess, because once you draw for a really long time, it starts to get tiring, because sometimes drawing is fun, it's a hobby, it's something you love to do, but sometimes it can be a chore, because once you do it for a long time, it feels like a chore. You feel like you're doing it because you have nothing else better to do. I'm drawing it for fun, and once that starts happening, you start getting frustrated, and you because you're running out of ideas and you just don't know what to draw. So my recommendation is just stop drawing. Just take a break for a week, or for maybe a couple days or a day or two, and just once you feel like you have confidence and you have ideas now, and your brain is flowing, definitely just come back and start drawing again, because it's like like a sports runner running every single day. You get tired after a while, and sometimes you just gotta take a break. But once you get your energy refilled, you can run again for like couple more days, and then you're slowly getting tired and tired and tired. Then you gotta stop and then like refill your energy, and then you can run again for as long as you want. So that's kind of like what it is being an artist. Some people actually can, draw for so long and they never get tired of it. But, a lot of people do kind of get tired. So, so that's my tip. Just stop for a while. No, just stop. Just take a break. That's my tip. Take a break. Long story short, take a break. Next question. Cookie Cutter Planner 9 asks, what is your method of finding your style and experimenting? Finding your style. What I did personally, I looked at other people's artwork that I personally really liked, and I would like a style like that. I took different parts of their style and incorporated it into mine. So like my style is literally considered a Frankenstein of other people's styles. You know, a lot of people do recommend you doing that, just like just looking at other people's style and taking what you like about their style and incorporating it into theirs. Because I know that my noses, I know somebody was doing that, and I was like, that's a really good, you know, it looks good, so I incorporated it into mine, and that's why my noses look like the way they do. So definitely do that. And method of experimenting. You know, I definitely do experiment a lot. My recommendation is to do something nobody has ever done before. That's really what experimenting is all about. Because once you experiment, or maybe just not particularly what anybody else has ever done before, but maybe what you've never done before, that's the whole point of experimenting, just trying to play around, because you don't know how to do this, you don't know, you know, the methods, and it's honestly even more challenging when nobody has ever done this before, so it really does make it experimenting. I'm currently experimenting with incorporating real life objects in a piece, in a artwork, so that's usually my experimenting now. But the method for experimenting, just play around with different mediums you've never tried, different, you know, ideas you've never tried, maybe nobody else has ever tried. I'm trying to look around to see if I can have any more ideas. You know, if you usually work small, work big. If you usually use markers, try using colored pencils for a change. Try using ink pens for a change. If you know, want to have more interest in your drawings, or you know, you want to do something completely different that nobody else is doing, I know that I've used food as a medium. You know, just experimenting with non-traditional mediums is actually really, really fun. I've drawn with mud, I've drawn with coffee, I've drawn with food, I've drawn with like real life, you know, plastic flowers you can get at the Dollar Tree. So yeah, that's really what experimenting is all about, just playing around with different things that you've never done before. So yeah, I hope I answered your question really good. I'm sorry, I'm talking way too long. And then, I think this is the last question. Yeah, this is the last question, you guys. Okay, and we're running on 40 minutes. Wow. Okay, what got you into drawing and finding anime? Actually, I'm gonna answer the anime one, because I already answered drawing. And then P.S. books and movies favorite books and movies at the moment. My favorite anime, or finding anime, I found anime actually through manga. I found anime through manga, and I remember I picked up a manga book, and I was like, oh, why is this backwards? And then I read the book. I loved it. I still do not remember what that book is called. I know it wasn't really, it was kind of like an Airbender copy kind of thing, but and then I picked up Tokyo Mew Mew manga, and I was like, you know, I wonder if this has a TV show. And it did. And I watched it, all of it, and I was like, wow, this was really good. What is this called? And so I looked it up, and it was called anime. I know that I really did like that anime style back when I was a kid, but I didn't know what it was called. And now that I knew what it was called, I went on an anime binge, and I was an otaku for a really long time. So that's definitely how I found anime through manga. Isn't that weird? You usually find manga through anime, but this time it was the other way. And what is my favorite books and movies at the moment? Well, Miss Shetty, sadly, I don't really read books as much as I used to. I remember I loved reading books. That was like my number one thing. But we are reading books in English class now, so I don't really have time to read freely in my free time. But definitely the last book I read, it's technically manga, whatever, but the last book I read that I absolutely loved to death was Wolf Children. It's I think it became a Miyazaki movie, actually. Wolf Children, definitely one of my favorite mangas ever. I went to Mall of America, I picked it up, and I was like, this looks really good, because number one thing you should know about me, I do judge a book by its cover. If it looks like it has a cool cover and it has a really cool art style, I'll pick it up and I'll read it and then I'll like it. So Wolf Children really did appeal to me because of the cover. It was kind of like watercolory kind of thing, and it was huge, which I really do love huge manga books because I do read manga really, really fast. And the art style was perfect. The story was perfect. So that's definitely one of my all-time favorite books of right now. Even though I read it like a year ago, still one of my favorite books. And movies, okay, listen. We are doing the musical Bye Bye Birdie right now, and I watched the movie a while ago. I actually have to leave for the show in like a couple hours. So Bye Bye Birdie, one of the silliest, most ridiculous, but funniest movies I've ever seen. Personally, I love movies that were like back in the ages, like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. This was made in the 60s, but the original Broadway show was made in the 50s. So this takes place in the 50s. And if you haven't seen Bye Bye Birdie, you should go watch it. It has Dick Van Dyke in it. But we are doing the Broadway, or the show, like the musical show, and I'm in the band, so I'm literally playing and hearing these songs 24/7, and I cannot get them out of my head. And you know, I love it. Like, you know, when you get songs stuck in your head, it's kind of annoying, but you kind of love it. Like, I love the songs so much. I love the atmosphere. I love the costumes. I love everything about the movie and the musical. And it's just so funny. And I definitely really recommend you watch that movie. One of my all-time favorite movies. Definitely. Like, I wake up singing those songs. It's so ridiculous. Like, hi, Nancy. Hi, Helen. I'm so sorry. Morning glory. Oh my god. And then, like, I love you, Conrad. Oh, yes, we do. We love you, Conrad. Okay, so that was all the questions we've had. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of questions to answer. You can tell my throat is like, oh. But thank you guys for all the questions. I had a lot. I had really fun answering them. Maybe I'll have to make this into a part 2. Maybe. Probably. So, yeah. I try to answer your questions as deep as I could, as detailed as I could. Maybe I can go back and just, listen to what I had to say. So, I hope you like this video or videos. Yeah, maybe I can do a Q&A in like a year or two next, or maybe, you know, before I graduate, you know, just a little Q&A before I go off into the world. But anyways, again, I hope you liked this video, and I hope I answered all your questions as good as I could, and I hope I answered your questions really well. So I'm really sorry. I know I talk a lot. I know I talked a lot in this particular video, but I really hope, you know, you got some advice or, you know, tips from this. So, that's all I have to say. So, I'm gonna stop talking. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, breakfast, morning, or, you know, afternoon, wherever in the world you may be. And I will see you in the next video.